Customers may have had their credit and debit cards compromised, along with other information. Names, email addresses, and phone numbers may have been stolen. Neiman Marcus says it, too, has had a data breach, the company trying to find out how many are affected. This is ABC News.
The fact is, you can't make spring hurry up and get here, but you can make sure you're good and ready for it. Get $1,000 off RSX 850i Gator utility vehicles and $500 off one family tractors with a purchase of 2 John Deere or Frontier brand implements. Most offers end February 3rd. Stop by your John Deere dealer for details.
Visit Stark Street Lawn and Garden in East Portland or Sherwood for great deals on John Deere equipment, or find us online at myjohndeeredealer.com.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is only going to get worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help at 1-800-334-5070. Our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. And we have an A-plus rating with the BBB. So get protected. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 1-800-334-5070.
Look at the weather forecast and KLYC, brought to you by J&J Auto Detailing in Park and Sell. Need a little help selling your vehicle or want to spiff it up? Put the shine back in your ride. Let Jim at J&J Auto Detailing in Park and Sell help you out. J&J Auto Detailing, 1500 Southwest Baker Street, across from the Tesoro gas station in Mac. AM 1260 KLYC, as we take a look at the weather forecast, good chance of rain into this weekend, starting to diminish first of the week, and areas of fog will be a possibility then. High today near 50, low tonight near 40 degrees. Could be a bit windy today with gusty winds up to 43 miles per hour. It's 46 degrees outside.
Good morning, Yamhill County. You're tuned right here to the root of it.
Good morning. This is Ray Van Blaricum and Kyle Hunter, your local master gardeners. Both of us recertified.
Yeah, and
classes
classes are going right now. We did get to see each other at the first Master Gardener class of the year. It was great to see a full auditorium of future Master Gardeners there, right?
Yeah, there's like 20, a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a room full.
And it's nice to see the mentors, too. The veteran Master Gardeners giving up their time to guide the hand of the new people.
Yep, and we thank each and every one of them for stepping up and taking care of business. I've done it. It's fun. It's amazing to have somebody get it.
Right.
And really enjoy gardening from thither on.
And the blank slates, you know, the not knowing the difference between a conifer and a deciduous and things like that you get to learn over the next 2 months.
It cracks me up, though, about halfway through the class, when people are starting to really understand gardening and its simplicity.
Simple.
And the first thing they do is they run out and they rip up about half their lawn and donate it to the plant sale.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Or their garden beds, you know, they just go out and, okay, I can get rid of that. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll go get another one at the plant sale for $2. I'll be fine.
But the other amazing thing that goes on during the class session is the lunch. Oh my gosh. The lasagna. I guess there was a lot of that. The cookies, the treats, and that's just I don't know how effective Linda's talk was afterwards, because I wasn't able to stick around. I had to leave babysitting duties and everything. Yeah. But after getting a belly full of all of that good, delicious food, I just can't imagine being able to be attentive.
I especially like those little lemon bars with the flaky crust.
Yeah. And someone was so kind to cut those into very small portions, but that didn't stop you from eating 8 to 12 of them.
3 on first grab.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good food that the Master Gardeners provide. It's really nice.
The first class I ever went to, because I was one who had taken it online at home, and I got about halfway through it, and I ran out of modules, so I had to go down to the extension office. And I'm walking through the front door, and here's 2 8-foot tables end to end covered with bagels and fresh fruit and,
Right.
and soups and stews, and I'm just going, wow.
Yeah. Another thing that they're doing this year, I don't know if you knew about this, is that because there are online modules for the Master Gardener program,
Right.
and even if you're not a Master Gardener or you don't have the time to become one, there are some modules that are available online that you just pay for on a per module basis. That's extension.oregonstate.edu. But for the class, during the online module times that they have allotted, you can also come in and do the online module right there, with a mentor. And so that seems like that's going to be a lot of help too.
Well, they also have flat screens that you can use, and for the students. You can come into the extension office and use the Wi-Fi at the extension office and have all your access to all the library and everything right while you're... It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and wow. It's just the class starts. It's like the Master Gardener calendar. The class starts, the plant sale preparations begin, the plant sale, farmers market. It's all going to be happening here real soon.
Another thing that's going to be happening here real soon is our Spring into Gardening seminar, and this is one that isn't fully sold out yet. If people want tickets to this, it's going to be March the 8th.
Well, let's sell it up first. I mean, let's the Spring into Gardening. Last year, when it was our first year that we did that as the Master Gardeners, it was at the McMinnville High School.
In the theater.
And it was a really big turnout. The theater itself, I was pretty amazed. I'd never been in there. It's pretty professional looking. And the topics that we had, the choosing the right tool for the job, talking about shovels for 45 minutes and listening to it was incredible. But those kinds of topics, the intro into gardening is basically what they were about last year. And so what do we have lined up this year?
Well, last year, my my favorite one was the guy that was talking about dirt. And by the time he gets done, you just want to go out and get a handful of this stuff.
He was excited about dirt. I've
never seen anybody so giggly about dirt.
But I'm pretty sure his job is to get students, younger students, enthusiastic about it. And so you've got to be able to sell that. I mean, it's because otherwise, come on, you're selling dirt education.
Well, yeah,
so
but
this is dirt. You've got to look at the 7 sub-layers of all it. And it was pretty incredible to see.
It was pretty exciting for this old gasser, too. I'll tell you that one.
Right.
This year, we're going to move on because last year was soils, water, propagation, and tools. And there was one other one, but I forget what it was. But anyway, so this year is step 2. And this is something you can jump into just about anywhere because there will be a little bit of overlap in the introductories. But this year is blueberries, pruning small fruits in the backyard, strawberries and raspberries, my favorite grapes in the home garden. These are all separate topics. And they have, like my favorite grapes, that's going to be presented by Vern Nelson, who is the columnist for the garden section in the Saturday Oregonian.
Interesting.
Yeah, these aren't lightweights.
Right.
Yeah, these are gardening gurus.
Grapes after my own heart.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a growing tomatoes workshop, and then there's going to...
I wonder if that'll be filled.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if anybody will want to go learn how to grow tomatoes in Yamhill County. Everybody.
No, it's all included. Right. It's $30 a ticket, and that includes your lunch.
And the lunch last year was in the cafeteria. It was box lunch,
awesome.
And it was it was great.
And all the coffee, the tea, water is all free.
And then the concessions helped the McMinnville High School also.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. So we've got that coming up. What are the dates on that again?
It's going to be Saturday, March 8th, from 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. With any kind of luck at all, we'll actually be broadcasting from the seminar.
I don't think luck is involved there. I think that pure Dave skill is going to make that happen.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, we'll definitely be broadcasting from that, and we'll be talking more about that in the weeks to come.
And look what their closing topic is.
All right.
Yeah. Keep your tools sharp.
Oh. where's that coming? We've got to get that trademarked. We've got it copywritten, logo stamped.
Just keep your tools sharp.
Keep your tools sharp.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's that. We've got that coming up again. Just one
there's
more
gonna be
thing.
Flyers around town to remind you. It's going to be on the websites at OregonState.edu. Yeah,
slash dabble doodar.
Well, that's what it looks like on my Comcast right now.
Extension.oregonstate.edu/yamhill. And then you've got the Master Garden link right there. That'll get you to the extension office here in McMinnville, located on Lafayette Avenue.
And we've got door prizes up the wazoo.
I remember that from last year. There were so many door prizes. So many gift baskets.
Our favorite people, Recology, just for an opener, are going to have 10 gift certificates for compost, for a yard of free compost.
Everyone loves
compost. That's a $30 gift certificate.
Everyone loves compost.
I do. You know me.
And in March, it'll be about the time for it, too, to start thinking about it.
It'll be time to, and this will be a nice way to kind of get yourself focused so you don't go out and plant things too early.
Right.
And give you a chance to think about it before you
happens before the plant sale, right?
Yeah. It's an all-day seminar, 8:30 to 4:30, 6 speakers, free lunch, $30.
Yeah.
There's also discounts, so like actual Master Gardener members.
That's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
You get $5 off.
Well, that sounds good.
And high school students, horticultural students, they get $10 off.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and still get the lunch.
and we still feed them.
Yeah, that's an important thing in my life. Master Gardener
it is at this point, isn't it? It's just all about the food.
Sorry.
Well,
but anyway, that's enough of that.
So that is enough
We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. Let's jump into the weather real quick before we get into our first break, because it is out there.
It's going to be ugly today.
It is going to be ugly. There is a high wind alert, which means that they're expecting 20 to 30 mile an hour
20
winds.
to 35 mile an hour breezes.
50 mile an hour gusts possible. Oh, man. I've got these big, tall cedar trees or cypress trees right in front of my house, and they're about 50, 75 feet tall. Each time one of these windstorms threatens, I'm just like, oh. Is today the day?
Is today the day I get the free firewood?
Free firewood.
I got a bunch of buddies that are on their way down. They're on a road trip to the coast because the swells are going to be 30 to 33 feet tall. That's as high as any building except for the Oregon Hotel.
My gosh. And
you
want
when
to go
they come
do that.
crashing into walls,
yeah, I want to head towards that. That's where I want to go. I want to head towards that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to go stand. I'm going to stand back about a quarter of a mile with my telephoto lens.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to stand 70 miles away from it right now at this point. But we are in for some rainy weather.
Yeah.
I got up this morning. I was up about 4 o'clock in the morning. I went outside, and it was raining. And those big drops that that it's winter. It's not sprinkling. It's just those big
serious
drops. But on my porch, it was 48 degrees. It was almost 50 degrees at 4 o'clock in the morning.
It sounds like somebody's throwing a handful of pea gravel at my skylight.
Yeah, it is kind of nice.
Oh man! And then at 4:41, the sump pump comes on.
Oh gosh!
Yeah.
So you get to listen to that.
Oh yeah, every 15 seconds for the rest of the night.
You put on your wireless headphones and you go back to sleep.
I'm on a direct spring. I've actually got a spring underneath the house that they knew when they built the condo that there was a spring. And it has this really elaborate sump pump system down there with lights and primers and a garden hose and plug-ins. And so I'm crawling underneath my floor to see what this noise is, and I get down there, and it's like a little miniature
oasis.
Yeah,
it's nice down there. It's all
pooly. Somebody knew this was here.
It's Ray's little spa.
Yeah,
mineral springs.
We have. Okay. Yeah, we're just tuning up.
So you've got that mini spa underneath. It's funny that you do mention that because the springs, because I got to walk out into my field, And the frogs or the toads or whatever species is out there is they're croaking, they're making their noise, and it's pretty incredible.
They've come above the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for the next couple of days. But luckily, there's going to be plenty of snow in the hills. Mm-hmm. It's the first major snowfall since before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They've had like 8 inches at government camp all winter long. Mm-hmm. That's it. Not even enough to cover the curb.
Well, and we were talking about earlier this month, or whatever. So we were talking about the drought and how we're not getting enough normal snowfall, but it's going to be dumb. I mean, they had a foot the other day, a foot the next day. So it's a matter of catching up. And even though this sounds like a lot, it still might not even be enough, because it doesn't. It's not going to last for a month. It's not going to last for.
Well, to get up to the 6 feet of snow we normally have by this time of the year, can you imagine how hard it's going to have to rain here in the valley?
Exactly.
I'm not betting on that one.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be a good day to stay indoors and don't go gardening today.
This year. Don't go gardening at all this year. No.
Keep your hoe handle down. We're going to take a little break. Give us a call, 503-434-1260. We'll answer your gardening questions. That's 503-434-1260.
AM 1260 KLYC, and we want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for helping bring To the Root of It back to you here on AM 1260 KLYC. And with us right now is site lead Nick Olheiser. In fact, we're standing in the yard at Recology Northwest Greenlands. Nick, thank you for sponsoring the show.
Thank you, and it's great to be here today.
Let's talk about the redistribution, reallocation in the company. There's been a little bit of changing of names and so on and so forth. Explain what's going on.
Yeah, we were actually bought out a few years ago by a company named Recology out of San Francisco. Essentially what's going on out here, there's just been a restructuring within the company. We are now more part of an organics division, which is allowing us to kind of centralize and hone in on the composting part of it, the phase that we want to be in. It kind of allows us to just share and reincorporate our knowledge within that and really build off of that.
So if you're driving by WOW over here by the fairgrounds, by the Shell gas station, and you're looking for compost, and they're looking to supply compost needs for large and small producers. So even if you're the small home gardener and you just want a bucket or two, you can come down and get that.
Yes, absolutely. We're located over here on Orchard Avenue. You pull in, we have anything from rock to bark dust to soil blends to just straight compost.
Tell me what's unique in what you offer here to the public.
What really sets us apart is the in-depth retail yard that we have. We have multiple products that a lot of other places aren't able to provide. One of our more popular features is the green waste pile. You can bring in any kind of yard debris, grass trimmings, branches, anything like that, and recycle it here. And then from there, it's reincorporated into the process, and in a couple months, it comes out as compost.
What are your hours, and when can people come by and pick up some compost?
Our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, Saturday, 9 to 4. Anytime in those hours, come on by. We got a friendly staff, always on hand, ready to help out and answer any questions in any way they can and get you any kind of needs you have.
What are your price ranges?
Price ranges for compost, pretty much all of our products, anywhere from $20 to $30 a yard. We do half-yard increments. Soil blends, same thing. We also have custom blend services that we do. There's something that on site that you don't see or that you can't find that you want. We're able to blend it up for you right there and get you exactly what you need.
Do you have Facebook, a website, and a phone number?
We don't have a Facebook currently right now. We are working on that. Our website is Recology, or it's OregonCompost.com. Sorry, just OregonCompost.com. And phone number is going to be 503-434-1671.
Recology Northwest Greenlands. We're talking here to Nick Olheiser, and they're bringing To the Root of It here on AM 1260 KLYC. From the really great beer brewed in the room next door, to the tantalizing menus of pulled pork, Reuben, or try the bangers and mash, local sausage grilled to perfection, served with hand-mashed taters, caramelized onions and peppers. And tomorrow, there may be another surprise on the menu. You've arrived at the Granary District and the Grain Station Brew Works. For lunch, dinner, kick back and watching the game, or enjoying a brew with some friends, You can't beat the unique, historic old barn feeling for taking a break and having a good time. Smell the freshly ground coffee. Enjoy eating meals prepared from the freshest foods. Like Oregon, it's historic, unique, and a fun down-home place to be. Just a stone's throw from downtown at 8th and Alpine in McMinnville. Once you try the Grain Station Brew Works, you'll be back. See you in the barn. Grain Station Brew Works, McMinnville. If you're involved in a vehicle crash, you need to take your car or light truck to a repair center that will fix it right the first time. The philosophy of J&W CarStar Collision Repair Center in McMinnville is relax. We'll take it from here. Roger Fowler stands by his crew's reputation. J&W CarStar Collision Repair Center, 1100 Northeast Lafayette in McMinnville.
Welcome.
Yeah, give me a little more.
No, you don't want any more.
Okay.
There you go. You're all back.
There we are.
You're all
There we
back
are.
right there.
So anyway, we're talking about the weather and the excessive moisture, and that relates to, as you mentioned,
Yes.
chemical issues
Right.
in your soils.
Right, because off air, while everybody was listening to those important messages, we were talking about the chemicals leaching out of the soil. Because right now, I'm witnessing in my field the point in time where the water is visible.
Right.
it no
it
longer
sort of floats to the surface.
It no longer
Yeah.
there. It's not trying to
Yeah,
seep
it's not-
into anywhere because the water is already there. So the water level is now going above the earth right now, and but that brings out the frogs. And so I get a nice chorus of those guys right now. But it's just it's what you deal with. It's you know what's going to happen, and how prepared is your garden, your property for it.
Well, there's some plants, and we were going to talk about these. I promised my dentist that we would talk about rhododendrons and azaleas.
It's a very popular topic anyway. Yeah,
Well,
we can talk about it.
Yeah, they're evergreens.
Does that come with a free root canal or something? Mention the rhododendron.
Yeah, I won't even go there. He has a brand new bicycle.
Awesome.
Yeah, bless his heart.
So rhododendron and azaleas, you can usually
Right.
mention them in the same breath because they
They
for
are
a
the
long time were not considered the same in the same family, the same class, but have since been reclassified. and
Right.
They're cousins of a different mother.
Yeah, azaleas are like rhododendron cousins,
Right.
but they're all part of the same family group again.
Right.
And they like the same kind of soils. They like an acid soil. They like good drainage. They like things that give their roots stability. They're surface rooters. They feed off of what's on top.
And that's the important thing to mention is that they're really surface roots. So you kind of have to make sure that you have a shallower kind of soil for them so that they can at least be up there and breathing and taking in the nutrients that they need.
Well, there's two kinds of azaleas. There's evergreens, which make nice green color basis for winter foliage, as well as the fact that they have these beautiful, stunning blossoms. Some of the first in the spring are your azaleas and rhodies, and they come in such striking colors. It's amazing.
And different colors, but the thing about the rhododendrons is that if you want to propagate them from seed, you're going to end up with a generic rhododendron.
You're going to end up with a pink one.
Right. It's so it's something that you have to do cuttings from and what is it, mounding to bury their branches. So not something that you're going to plant from seed, but once they take off, and we were talking about this with other master gardeners at the class, and we have a big list of things that you do to take care of the rhodies to keep them well, but for the most part, you can do nothing to them, and they will get along just fine for the most part.
They're very self-sustaining. They don't need excessive nitrogen fertilizer, but they do need some.
Mm-hmm.
And they need a different type of fertilizer group that's more acidic than like lawn fertilizer. And the lime and the fertilizer that you put on your lawn is really too basic and should not be used on rhododendrons and azaleas. It has a tendency to shut down their feeding system.
Yeah, it's what it says right here. Avoid the excessive use of lime or alkaline fertilizers for that reason, right?
Exactly that reason. They need their own little box of food. Mm-hmm. You don't need much of it, and fish fertilizers actually is exotic as you need to get.
That sounds very exotic for me. The minor elements such as magnesium and iron may also need to be added, right. Small amounts, but that'll add the green color to the foliage.
The specific problem that my friend had with his rhododendrons and they had been planted quite properly, but they had been allowed to just run on their nursery fertilizer, and when that ran out, they started getting chlorotic. And what that means is the leaves look weird. The veins stay green, but the rest of the leaf turns a yellowish kind of striped pattern.
Right.
And it's pretty distinctive when you see it.
Well, once you see that, you know that
you go,
it's gone.
Ick.
Yeah, that's not coming back, right?
Yeah, but you can save it. You can catch it. Rhodies, you can save right up to the time the leaves turn brown and curl up.
But you're not going to save that leaf, right?
No, right, that's
right.
going to fall off.
Right. Once you see a yellow leaf, that thing is
pretty much
not
toast.
Coming back. They don't turn back green magically.
No, they fall off.
No, that's when all of the nitrogen is coming out.
But
to go to other places. But to plant the rhodies around the buildings, to speak of, if you want them to last longer, it's the east or north side, because they don't like the direct sunlight, because that will just, especially in the summer, that can just easily just dry their leaves out if you're not keeping up with the watering regimen. But if you like mine that I have, it's on the east side, and then as soon as the 1 o'clock sun hits, it's in the shade.
Yeah.
And it loves it. It's green, vibrant, and that's basically all the water care I have to do for it too.
I bought a house over behind Walmart one time that had beautiful azaleas and rhododendrons for size, but they were out in front by the driveway, so it got reflected heat off the driveway. Right. They were cooked. I mean, they were just brown, dead as dirt looking things. Mm-hmm. So I dug them all up, and I took them out in the backyard where it was partially shady on the north side of the house. And I replanted them. In about 3 years, them suckers sprouted back. There was still life in the stems.
They are resilient.
They will come back. And I was very pleased. And like the azalea came back white, like it was. I thought it was a red. And turned out it was a white azalea.
It used to be red.
Maybe. Bleached out by the driveway.
The close brush with death paled it.
Yeah. Straightened its act right out. Right. Come back pure as a driven snow.
Right.
Yeah, but the rhodies, they were like big double-petaled pink fluorescent looking things. I'd never seen a pink that bright.
Yeah. And a reason why these are because we're mostly talking about the evergreen ones that keep their leaves and stay green year round, because they make really good landscapes here in the area.
Yeah.
But they can be susceptible to winter damage still also. And the things that you want to do is to help develop winter hardiness is actually avoid adding large amounts of nitrogen after July 15th. I thought that was a pretty important and strange point, but it kind of makes sense, because after July 15th, you're looking at summertime,
right? And
you don't want any new growth to start, because they are kind of slow growing things.
They're very tentative growing,
so they've got to start thinking about it before it actually happens. So if you leave that down, then it'll probably be better.
Well, in the summertime, if you jack them up with a bunch of nitrogen because you think they look puny, then you get a sudden amount of really new growth, which sunburns and makes your plant really look like crap. Then you think, oh no, I've killed it, I got to pull it, and you don't really. You just need to quit fertilizing and let it take its time absorbing things. You have to be patient with azaleas and rhododendrons because they're a pain in the where you have pains.
Yeah. I'm looking at a new weather update that says that there's going to be an unstable air mass today that may produce funnel clouds.
Huh.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? A colder air mass will move over the region later today in the wake of a cold front moving through the area this morning. This pattern can produce cold air funnel clouds. These funnel clouds do not usually touch the ground, however. If they do touch the ground, they can be dangerous and have the potential to cause isolated damage. But a cold tornado, is that basically what this is?
The last time we had one of those was, just last year or something like that, when it tore up the storage sheds down here by Lafayette.
Oh, I don't
blew them all
recall
over.
that.
Oh, remember, it blew the storage shed over by Lewis Furniture.
Great.
Roof and stuff, and it was all across Lafayette Avenue. And that was a cold air funnel cloud.
My gosh.
So, yeah, we do have them.
I thought that I had gotten away from the tornadoes.
Well, they're not like, mile-wide Cat 5s because they can't, that's not going to happen.
There's not enough warm moisture.
Well, they'll run into a mountain before then. It slows down the whole progress. That's, part of the advantage of living here.
They'll run into a storage shed before that happens.
One good storage shed, and they're done. That's it.
But that's pretty interesting. Okay, so be leery of that if you're not.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
If you're not scared enough to go outside, beware of the.
Yeah. If you see one, don't stand in front of your sliding glass window, catching,
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But, no, we don't have to have storm cellars like they have back east. But we do have, and we can get some pretty nasty, just straight line winds with these winter storms. The wife and I came back from Hawaii one time and discovered that there was about 2 pickup loads of firewood in the backyard. It had all blown from the southwest to the northeast, so it was in the backyard, and it was over in the neighbor's yard too, but it hadn't really bothered our house.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping, because when we first moved here, we lived in Hillsborough and we were staying in a nice little house. And within a month of us living here, there were these big storms, and a tree blew into the house roof. It just fell over right there.
Crunch,
in the middle of the night, I hear this thunk. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And I get out in the morning, there's a tree leaning over on the roof. So I'm hoping, and I do knock on wood, that, well, that's it. How often does that get to happen? It happens once. We got through that.
Yeah, it can happen like once a winter. It's like once in a while we actually get real snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. While the rest of the nation is buried in 50-degree below zero chill factors.
My daughter still talks about the snow that we got. I honestly, it is a memory in the past, and I can't even. And
we got snow?
Right, exactly. No, it did happen, and she was out there making. It was a snow frost. And she was out there. And it's incredible because, again, growing up in Colorado, snow is a little bit different than it is here.
Yeah, down there again, it's localized.
Right.
From Albany south, they got actual snow that lasted for a week. My sister sent me an email that she had -9 on her deck in Eugene.
Wow.
And I thought she meant chill factor. I couldn't be that cold. So I go in and I do the weather.com, and sure as heck, they're freezing everything down there.
Wow.
It's like -9, -10. And that's, 90 miles down the road.
Yeah. And then when we get down to 28, it's like, oh my gosh, we got to 28.
I'm in 5 layers of clothes, 2 turtlenecks. Yeah. But anyway, back to azaleas and rhododendrons.
No, we're actually going to go into a break right now. Yeah,
okay.
We'll take a break, and then we'll get back into the azaleas and the rhodies. But you're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC 1260 AM.
AM 1260 KLYC, and To the Root of It, sponsored once again by Recology Northwest Greenlands. We're sitting here, in fact, we're standing in the yard right now talking to Nick Olheiser. Nick, tell us about what sets your yard apart from others if they're out looking for compost.
Wide range of products available to the public. We have anything from rock to bark to all kind of soil blends to straight compost. We offer services such as the concrete mixers. We also have a blow-in service where the truck will come out, blow the bark in, or compost for you right there. And when we leave, it's like we were never there, except the product's there.
Now, they're right across here, just down from the fairgrounds, right across from the Shell station, right next door to WOW. So if you're bringing your old TV sets and so on and so forth in to get rid of them, old computers and such, we're just to the west of that.
Correct. We're located over here on Orchard Avenue, 2200 Orchard Avenue. When you pull in, you'll see the signs. You'll see the big green bunker tarps, keeping your soil dry and ready for you all winter.
What are your hours and phone number?
Hours are going to be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, it's 9 to 4. Phone number is 503-434-1671.
All righty. Anything else you want to tell the folks?
We got a friendly staff here ready to answer and help you guys out with any kind of needs you have as far as landscaping and garden goes. Come on down, come say hi to us, and we'll help you out from there.
So if you're listening to tips that the guys are talking about on To the Root of It, and you need some composting, maybe you just need a little bit, maybe you need a lot, come on down and check them out. Again, the address?
2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue.
And the phone number?
503-434-1671.
Nick Olheiser talking to us. We're here at Recology Northwest Greenlands, and they bring To the Root of It back on KLYC AM 1260. Now back to the show. Hey, it's the new year, 2014. Time to stock up the cupboard once again, and time to go down to Harvest Fresh, 3rd Street, downtown McMinnville, and see what's happening. Bob, how you doing today?
Hey, Dave, how you doing? I'm doing great.
I'm doing good. What do we have to eat?
Well, we got a lot of goodies actually this week. Of course, you know it is a new year, and a lot of people are wanting to trim down and slim down. So we've tried to put a couple items in there that might help out folk on that one there. We got Ambrosia, local Ambrosia apples on sale for 79 cents a pound, and that's a great buy on those guys. We have Mineola Tangelos at 99 cents a pound. We have heirloom navel oranges, and these guys are just packed with juice and flavor. They're outstanding at $1.39 a pound. We have large artichokes at $1.69 each this week. And we have jumbo baker potatoes at 39 cents a pound. Over in the organic section, we have 5-pound bag russet potatoes at $2.99 a bag. We have clamshell grape tomatoes at $2.39 each. And we have Lassa Needle green kale at $1.99 a bunch. And then we have your choice of 3-pound bag Gala or Pink Lady apples at $4.99 a bag. And over in the meat department this week, we have Harris Ranch antibiotic hormone-free hanger steaks. And have you ever had a hanger steak, Dave?
No, I haven't. What is a hanger steak?
They're kind of called flat iron steaks, and they're just, the flavor is just incredible. You can put them on the barbecue or in the oven, I guess, for less than like 8-9 minutes, and they're done. And they're just like eating filet mignon. They're really tender. They're full of juice, flavor. They're great. We also have marinated pork tenderloin, and what Jay, our meat manager, has done, he's marinated these pork tenderloins in this marinade, and they're ready to go, and they're just yummy, yummy, yummy at $4.99 a pound. And then to top off that this week, we have wild-caught stillhead fillet at $9.99 a pound.
So the flat iron steaks sound really good.
Yeah, they're really good, and if you haven't had one, for $6.99 a pound, you should come and try them because you're going to get hooked. They're very addicting. The taste, the flavor is just outstanding.
Sounds great. Now, it's Harvest Fresh down there in 3rd Street. Tell them Bob sent you. Tell them you heard it on AM 1260 KLYC. AM 1260 KLYC, as we take a look at the weather forecast, good chance of rain into this weekend, starting to diminish first of the week. And areas of fog will be a possibility then. High today near 50, low tonight near 40 degrees. Could be a bit windy today with gusty winds up to 43 miles per hour. It's 46 degrees outside.
And we are back right here to the root of it, KLYC 1260 AM. You can get us at 503-435-1260 if you have a question. That's 503-435-1260. We are also streaming on the web right now at KLYC.us. You get the video. Right now I'm looking at myself.
Yeah.
Need a haircut.
Yeah, I definitely got the old man hat hair.
Perfect hair for radio.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
One little addendum to that weather report is there was a news flash from the National Weather Service to be advised that with the air pressure currents that they are developing, that there is a possibility of cold air funnel clouds in the Willamette Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Oh, yeah.
So, do be careful out there.
And KLYC is actually going to be different places today. So they're going to be having the YAM van on location, monitoring the weather. So if you want to keep appraised of what the weather's going on right now in Yam Hill, keep it right here, 1260 AM.
Well, yeah, and if you're out there and you do see one of these funnel clouds and can get pictures of it with your cell phone, you can send those to KLYC Radio, and they will publish them on their YouTube site.
Right.
And their...
Because we are local.
Yes.
And that's a really nice local thing.
And there's a lot of people out there who don't believe we have funnel clouds.
That's right. I am one of them.
Yes. Please, somebody get a picture of a funnel cloud to show Kyle that it really does do horrible things once in a while around here.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it at all.
Stir up the stuff.
Yep. So rhododendrons and azaleas. Do you have a preference? Is you can only take one to a deserted island. Which one do you take?
I would take the azalea because I'm a little prejudiced against rhododendrons. Mm-hmm. They do require that aftermarket care.
Really?
Well, after they bloom, you pick off and then suckers are sticky. It sticks to your gloves.
You're talking about deadheading.
Deadheading.
And deadheading has to be done to the rhododendrons because once they have their flowers, and that lasts about 3 days.
If you're lucky.
Then they turn this nasty brown leafy color, and if you're like me and have a plant that has the girth of about 12 feet,
right,
that's just all a lot of deadheading. So what I've actually taken to doing, because they're sticky too. Yeah. So you go up and for those who are uninitiated, the flower dies. You've got the brown remains of the flower,
sticky, slimy,
that you have to remove. Otherwise, you got mold and bad things can happen, and it looks really ugly mostly. So you've got to go to each one that had that flower for 3 days and then go and pick that thing off, and then you dispose of it as you will. But it doesn't necessarily come off your hands right away because it's sticky. So
it'll be on your gloves next spring.
What I have taken to do is just shake the bush. You just shake it all over the place. It's really sturdy. It's a sturdy plant, and the green leaves aren't falling off because they're stuck on there. And I get the flowers to come off all the way down.
That's actually a good stress relief. That'd be marvy.
It's a lot of...
I'd be tempted to...
But believe me, it's a lot of shaking.
Well, I'd shake that limb with a Black & Decker.
But it's better than... And plus, it's got places that I can't reach because they're all the way up and tall in the middle.
Oh, man. I bet it's pretty, though, for 3 days.
Right. And it really is. But if you don't deadhead these, if you don't take the dead flowers off and remove them the next year, they'll still be stuck to the leaves there, and when you have these nice flowers that are blooming, you still have the remains of last year.
Another advantage of deadheading, if there is an advantage to deadheading a rhodie, is that if you do it right after it's bloomed, then you have a possibility of that being another bloom next year, because they do grow on second-year wood. Mm-hmm. But if you don't deadhead it, then the limb thinks it's just supposed to make more limb, and you won't get a flower there next year.
Because when you take the dead flower, when you're deadheading, you see a little bulb that's under there. Yep. You're removing it away to expose this little egg almost. Yeah,
and then the plant has a hormonal structure to decide that, well, I better make another flower there. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what happens. I mean, no, there's not a little chip in the bottom of your plant that switches over to making flowers, but it's the pathology, the physiology of the plant. Pathology is when it gets rust and Really looks like crap.
Which we can actually get into, because if you go to page 5 of the entities, we've got deficiency symptoms, which is
cool.
which is really what a lot of people are looking for.
What to look for that's bad.
Right, you don't come to the plant clinic until something is dying. So one of the biggest thing we hit on this is I think is a nitrogen deficiency. You can tell. Usually, you won't find that here in Willamette, I would think, or in Yamhill.
Not too much.
But if you've got a nitrogen deficiency, and this goes for most plants, is the foliage is light green and then it's dwarfed in growth.
Right, and if phosphorus is another one that's essential for leaf structure and metabolizing sunlight to make its growth nutrients in its leaves. But if you don't have enough phosphorus, then the leaves are smaller. They get darker green than normal because it's so concentrated.
And that's
trying to survive.
It's really concentrated. Yeah, I guess I never realized that, but I can think about when plants do get that smaller leaf and they're just darker green. You think it's healthy, but it's not growing.
You think, oh, what a cute little dwarf.
Right.
No, it's a sick puppy.
Right.
But then the tips of the leaves turn brown, and you think sun scorch or something like that. No, really, all it needs is a little bit more phosphorus in its diet. Potassium is an interesting one. That gets really kind of colorful. When that goes to heck on you, your leaves will kind of get orangey colored along the edges of the leaf, and then later on they just turn black and die.
I think that I've seen that mostly in house plants. Because I'm not necessarily feeding them the way that I normally do, but they get that orange color, which is not really green.
That's just before I start vacuuming the ficus.
Right, exactly. Or the rubber tree.
The rubber tree. That's another one that'll tip over and die at the drop of a hat.
Right.
Live for 15 years and then just fall over.
Yep.
Who knows? Magnesium is another one that's very distinctive in that in between the veins it turns yellow, and the center of the leaves turn yellow, mostly on the older foliage. Once it does that, they're going to fall off.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that the plant is going to die. It just means you make a minor correction in its diet.
Because and the reason that it's losing the green color is because it's taking all of the nitrogen away from that leaf, because it knows that leaf is not going to exist anymore. However, I'm going to get as much of the nutrients out of it before it actually dies.
One of the real essential micronutrients is iron. For azaleas and rhododendrons, the young leaves turn pale, and the older leaves show distinct interveinal fluorosis. Remember I mentioned that earlier?
Right.
The leaves really look striped yellow and green.
Yep.
Because the green of the veins stands out against the yellowing of the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one that does turn them chlorotic pretty quick. Calcium is necessary for new shoot growth, but what will happen is if you don't have enough calcium, and again, you don't want to put so much calcium on it that you change the pH of the soil drastically.
It's a micronutrient for these purposes, right?
For rhododendron purposes, it's a micronutrient.
Right.
And they have a tendency to start looking real scorched and shriveled, like we haven't had that much sunlight, and your plant looks like it's dying.
Overly nourished.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other one, I think the other one in the valley here is boron deficiency. That pretty much goes for a lot of the plants, not least of all these rhodies and azaleas, and you're going to get the stunted and contorted multiple shoots.
Is that what they call witch's broom?
I've never heard that term.
Okay,
I haven't.
Google that one. You see what it does is it keeps trying to make a new stem, and so you get a clump of new stems.
Oh, that's right.
And it just looks hideous, because then if you ever do correct it, then that limb gets totally out of shape.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, no. Again, Black & Decker.
Black & Decker. Scissors.
Yeah, don't be shy around these plants. We're going to whack them once in a while just for their own health.
Yep, but the reason that these are good plants to have in your landscape is because they can take up a big portion of it. They do have striking flowers, and but they do only last for about a week.
Yeah.
But for the whole year, they are green. And even the bulbs themselves for the flowers, those are noticeable and visible year round, pretty much. Also, so the flowers they last a very short time, but the whole plant as a whole, it looks striking the whole year round.
Well, if it's a good healthy rhododendron, it makes excellent shelter for birds and things in the wintertime because the leaves are big.
Right.
So it does provide adequate windbreak. It's perfectly fine to go ahead and hang a bird feeder in your rhododendron.
Oh.
Which is a good use of a rhododendron, is to hold up a bird feeder.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that.
You got to look for the good in these things.
Good.
Okay, that was a push.
So we've got rhodies and we've got azaleas.
Yeah.
That's
I like azaleas because they stay smaller.
The smaller, the smaller compact flowering,
right. And do come in a good variety. Fancy rhododendrons like the yellow ones, the orange ones, the white ones, the white ones with the purple throats. Those are all hybrids. Those have been bred to be pretty. We're going to take another little break. If you have any questions about why your rhodie looks like heck,
we're the people to talk to. You can give us a call, 503-435-1260. If you have any questions that you that might take longer, just email Ray. He's Ray at totherootofit.us. Sorry. Let me talk to that again.
Do it again.
Ray at totherootofit.com.
There we go.
Yes, and if you have anything for me, I'm Kyle at totherootofit.com. But we do have a phone number, 503-435-1260. And it's quite an extensive back-end phone tree operation system that I'd like
to
utilize.
Watch, though. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. So you're listening to The Root of It, KLYC.
AM 1260 KLYC. Welcome to the Root of It. Back to the show in just a moment. We want to take a moment to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands and site lead Nick Olheiser. Recology Northwest Greenlands is here to provide the mulch and the compost you need for your garden or even your larger operation. Nick, glad to have you with us on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So tell us the products that you have to offer the public.
Well, our main golden gem is going to be the compost that we actually produce here on site. We offer yard debris service. It's dropped off. From there, it goes through the entire composting process, and there we're able to resell it to the public or to some of the more commercial type businesses. We also offer a wide range of rock and soil products to the community, as well as bark dust as well.
So I noticed if people want to get rid of their clippings, their leaves, their lawn mowing debris, and so on and so forth, they can bring that in here. Is there a charge for that?
Correct, there is. There is a $6 per yard charge. However, if you already have garbage service and you're located in the city limits of McMinnville, Lafayette, and Sheridan, I believe, it's already incorporated in your bill. So you just come in, let us know your address, and from there we can help you out and get you going from there.
So again, we're right next to the WOW drop-off site. So if you're dropping off your computers, recyclable materials, plastic, TV sets, and so on and so forth, we're just west of the site you do that. And there has been a name change and kind of a redivision of the company. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, a couple of years ago we were bought out by a San Francisco-based company called Recology. From there, we've kind of done a little bit of a restructuring within the company, and we've now fallen under more of an organics division. With that, it's allowed us to kind of hone in and centralize our knowledge on the composting operations of it, and move forward from there and try to provide the best product that we can and at the cheapest cost we can.
There you go. Recology Northwest Greenlands, a sponsor. Have to the root of it again. What are your hours?
It's going to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and then on Saturday, 9 to 4.
And your phone number again? 503-474-1671. Bringing you to the root of it here on AM 1260 KLYC. Thank you to Recology Northwest Greenlands.
Hi, this is Denise Stounberg for Fircrest Assisted Living. At Fircrest, our goal is to create an atmosphere of joy where fun and camaraderie are a part of each day. As a resident of Fircrest, we will work with you to provide care and services you select to maintain your current level of independence. If you are ready to write the next chapter of your life, let us write it with you. Together, we can make your story all about you. For more information, call 472-2200 or visit our website at www.fircrestcommunity.com.
A message from Rosemary Davis, CEO of Willamette Valley Medical Center.
Those folks who don't have insurance, when you come to the hospital, I want you to know that immediately your bill is discounted 60%. And if you can validate an income level at 200% of the poverty level, we will write the whole bill off. If this is a tough time for you and you're needing health care, you can get health care. Don't not do that and make things perhaps worse.
Rosemary Davis, CEO of Willamette Valley Medical Center. The medical center is here to help.
Whether it is your rustic cabin at the end of the road or your home with a $1 million view, Rent-A-Center in McMinnville has a price match guarantee on new furniture, appliances, home entertainment centers, TVs, and stereo systems. Your wish list can become reality, and your purchase is as simple with 3 easy ways to buy. You can buy it now with cash, you can buy it on 90 days, same as cash, or you can choose the easy payment options whereby you are already pre-approved and there are no credit checks. Rent-A-Center at 1370 Northeast Baker Street next to the Dollar Tree in McMinnville. It's easy for you to own. Enjoy Rent-A-Center.
And we're back.
We are back.
For just a minute, though, we do want to remind folks that the Spring into Gardening Seminar is going to be Saturday, March 8th, from 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. You can get tickets at the Extension website,
extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill.
The Master Gardener website, which is yamhillmastergardener, singular.org. And
the reason we were bringing it up, because it does deserve a second talking about, is because we didn't get to talk that much about the classes, and the classes are the small orchard, your apples, your stone fruits, the blueberries.
Yep, berries, grapes, and tomatoes in the home garden. And this is follow-up to last year where they did the soils and the watering and the tools and that sort of stuff. So, but this is what people usually garden for.
They want something that they can eat.
Exactly.
Right, and if you're going to be planting that apple tree, it might take a little while before you get some apples.
Yeah, but these are things you can do this year.
Right.
You can do it right now.
You go ahead and you get them planted in the ground, and then in 3 years you might have an apple. In 2 years you might have a blueberry.
Yeah.
But you know how to take care of them. We were talking about heavy acidic soil, and pretty much the only thing that likes
watching
it out there,
the pH,
right, is the blueberry is going to like that. Yeah, and what are the other classes?
Well, one of the fun ones is there's going to be a tomato grafting workshop where you can take rootstock of one tomato, graft on another tomato.
Do you remember when we were talking about, we were looking through the Territorial Seeds catalog?
The whole
and they
front
were
section.
And they had 12 pages dedicated to tomatoes, and 3 of those pages were grafted tomatoes, and I had never heard of such a phenomenon. And what you're telling me right now is that if I go to this seminar, I will actually graft a tomato?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
No, really, you will. Now, whether or not you have the same luck as Territorial Seeds will be a little iffy. We ain't going to promise you're going to get sequoia tomatoes out of this thing.
Viable tomatoes.
Yeah, or any for that matter.
It just involves scissors and a Band-Aid, that's it.
What amazed me, though, is if you buy a grafted tomato, yes, you pay $13 for this thing as opposed to $1.50 for a tomato plant at the Master Gardener sale.
Right. But the yield, we saw the
Yield
pictures.
is
We saw
awesome.
the yield pictures in the catalog, and those could not have been fabricated or anything like that. They were just twice as much.
Yeah, they're human and bigger fruit, and I'm not sure the chemistry behind it, but it'd be fun to try.
So you got the tomatoes going on, and that was the last of it.
No,
because the blueberries really interest me. I think this year I'll get into some more blueberries. I tried it the first year we moved here, but I think I planted it in the wrong place.
No, Randy's going to give a really excellent workshop on tool care again.
Oh, good, awesome.
Last year they did types of tools and handicap accessible tools, ergonomic tools. Well, this is going to be actually how do you take care of it now that you went out and bought the darn thing?
Because they can be expensive.
Oh, Lordy, yes.
Some of those tools, like $200 shovel.
Yeah, it didn't work for me.
Right. $500 trowel.
Yeah, no. Yeah, clippers that you can't even, you got to program. Yeah, no.
USB clippers.
Not going to happen, folks.
Tracks the strokes, how many clips you've done.
I'm going to get my clippers at Restore.
Right.
For 50 cents.
Awesome. Well, Ray, I think it's time to go.
Let's give her up for today.
Yeah. You have been listening to The Root of It, your weekly Yamhill County Master Gardener show. We do enjoy talking about the gardening tips that are specific to Yamhill County. We hope you've enjoyed it. You can catch a replay of the show. Go to KLYC.us, and there's a link to the YouTube there, or if you're on the YouTube, just do a search for KLYC to The Root of It. And there we are.
And keep your tools sharp.
I wasn't ready for that, Ray.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy your day, and go Broncos.
Yep.
AM 1260 KLYC. As we take a look at the weather forecast, good chance of rain into this weekend, starting to diminish first of the week. And